My beloved brothers and sisters, have you ever asked yourself, who really cares for me and who is just pretending? Sometimes the people we trust the most are the very ones who disappoint us. And sometimes those we least expect turn out to be the ones Allah placed in our lives for our protection. You see, Allah in His mercy does not leave us in confusion. He shows us signs, very clear signs that reveal the difference between those who are genuine and those who are not. The problem is, many of us ignore these signs until it's too late. Today, let us look at how Allah exposes reality and the ways He helps you see who truly values you for His sake. One of the greatest ways Allah reveals to us who is real and who is only pretending is through hardship. When life is smooth, when everything is going your way, when your pockets are full and your health is strong, you will notice that people surround you. Smiles are everywhere, invitations come in, and many seem to want your company. But this is not the real test of relationships. The true test comes when your situation changes, when difficulty strikes, when you are no longer able to give, but instead you are in need. That is when the masks fall off and Allah allows you to see the reality of people around you. Think about it for a moment. When a person loses a job, suddenly the phone that used to ring constantly becomes silent. When someone falls ill and cannot attend social gatherings, the friends who were always present suddenly disappear. When a person is in debt or going through family issues, those who once claimed to love them are nowhere to be found. This in fact is not something to be depressed about. It is actually Allah protecting you, showing you who is genuine and who is simply there for the good times. Allah allows trials not only to purify you and raise your rank, but also to filter your circle, to expose to you who truly values you beyond material things and worldly benefits. You will notice that a real friend is the one who, when you are down, comes closer to you. They do not abandon you in your moment of weakness. They do not make excuses when you need their support. Instead, they are present, sometimes even without words, just sitting by your side, making you feel you are not alone. And Allah shows you that this is the type of person who truly cares. The pretender, however, vanishes. They suddenly become too busy. They suddenly change their tone. They begin to avoid you because you are no longer of benefit to them. And that in itself is a divine lesson. How many people have said with their tongues, I am always here for you, only to prove the opposite when hardship arrived? And how many have never said a word, but their actions spoke loudly, standing by you in your darkest hour? This is why Allah allows you to go through difficulty. It is not to crush you. It is not to break you. It is to show you who deserves space in your heart. Because if life were only about ease, you would never know the difference between a true friend and a fair weather friend. My brothers and sisters, think of the life of the prophets. Each and every prophet went through hardships. They were mocked, abandoned, ridiculed, even harmed. And during those hardships, Allah exposed who among their people were sincere and who were not. When the Prophet Noah alayhi salam called his people for hundreds of years, only a small group stood by him. The rest mocked him, abandoned him, and turned away. But those few who remained loyal, they were the ones Allah honored by saving them. Similarly, in the time of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, when persecution in Makkah became unbearable, many of the so-called strong men of Quraysh turned against him, mocked him, and sought to harm him. Yet there were those like Abu Bakr who never left his side, even when it meant risking his life and his wealth. That is sincerity revealed by hardship. Now let us bring this to our lives today. Imagine you are going through financial difficulty. Perhaps you cannot afford the lifestyle you once had. Those who were with you because of your wealth, because of your generosity, because of your ability to host and to spend will vanish. But the one who still visits you, still calls you, still treats you the same way, that is the person Allah is showing you as genuine. Or imagine you fall ill and cannot attend the gatherings you once enjoyed. You cannot go out, you cannot laugh the way you used to, you are confined to your bed. Suddenly, the people who used to flood your calendar with invitations forget you. But then there is that one or two people who still show up at your door, sit with you quietly, perhaps bring you a meal, perhaps simply hold your hand. Allah is showing you this is sincerity. Sometimes it is even more subtle. You might be going through an emotional struggle, anxiety, sadness, heartbreak. Many people will tell you to just get over it. They do not want to deal with your pain. But the true ones will listen, will pray for you, will make you feel that your emotions matter. Even if they cannot solve your problem, their presence alone is healing. That is a sign from Allah that these people are not pretending. We often misunderstand hardship. We see it only as a punishment or as something negative. But hardship is also a mirror that reflects the hearts of those around you. It is Allah's way of showing you, here is someone who loves you for my sake, and here is someone who only wanted something from you. It is painful, yes, but it is necessary. Because imagine going through life thinking someone is sincere, only to find out decades later that they were not. Is it not better for Allah to show you now through a little difficulty rather than to let you live in illusion? That is His mercy. You will also notice that when Allah reveals this truth, it sometimes comes in waves. At first you might lose one or two people during a hardship and you feel the pain of that loss. Then as another test comes, a few more fade away. And eventually you are left with a small circle, maybe just one or two people who are always there. That is the purification of your relationships. That is Allah removing the unnecessary weight from your life so that you can focus on those who truly matter. My brothers and sisters, we live in a world today where relationships are often shallow. Social media makes it seem like we have hundreds of friends, thousands of followers. But when hardship comes, you realize that most of these connections are surface level. Allah strips away the illusion and lets you see reality. The one who prays for you when you are not around, the one who defends you when others are gossiping, the one who sacrifices their time to check on you, those are the ones Allah wants you to treasure. And the others, let them go. Allah exposed them not to hurt you, but to save you from giving your heart to people who did not deserve it. Sometimes, however, the lesson is even deeper. There are people who remain in your life, but Allah shows you through hardship that they are not as sincere as they claim. They may still be around you physically, but their words change, their tone changes, their willingness to help fades. Allah is gently whispering to your heart, be careful, do not rely too heavily on this person. And sometimes He allows you to feel disappointed repeatedly so that you finally understand the message. Because we humans often cling to people out of habit, and Allah wants us to cling to Him alone. So He reveals people's reality not only for your social well-being, but for your spiritual growth. He wants you to know that ultimate reliance should never be on a friend or companion, but on Him. And what should your response be when Allah reveals these truths through hardship? Do not become bitter. Do not let the exposure of insincerity turn your heart cold. Instead, thank Allah for opening your eyes. Appreciate the lesson. Learn to value the true ones even more. And above all, ask Allah to make you the kind of person who stands by others in their hardship. Because sometimes we are so focused on who is failing us that we forget to ask ourselves, am I being sincere to others? Am I standing by my friends when they are struggling? Or am I disappearing just like those I complain about? Let hardship not only reveal others to you, but also reveal you to yourself. My beloved brothers and sisters, when you are in difficulty and you feel abandoned, remember this, you are never truly alone. Even if every single person in the world were to leave you, Allah is with you. And perhaps that is the greatest wisdom behind hardship. People may fail you, but Allah never fails. He removes those who are false so that you may turn to the one who is true. He empties your hands of people who pretend so that He can fill your heart with His closeness. So the next time you notice that people disappear when life gets hard, do not despair. Smile and say, Alhamdulillah, Allah is showing me who is real, and Allah is teaching me to rely on Him above all. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the clearest ways Allah shows you who truly cares for you is through the kind of reminders they give you. It is very easy for someone to laugh with you, to spend time with you, to enjoy your company when life is fun and light-hearted. But the deeper question is, do they bring you closer to Allah or do they pull you further away? A person who truly loves you for the sake of Allah will want the best for your dunya and for your akhirah. They are not satisfied simply seeing you happy in worldly matters if they know that your akhirah is in danger. Instead, they gently guide you, they remind you, they call you back to what matters most. This is one of the greatest gifts you can have in a companion. And when Allah places such a person in your life, it is a sign that He wants goodness for you. Think for a moment about the people you spend the most time with. What kind of conversations do you have? Are they always about money, business, sports, entertainment, gossip? Or do you find that at least sometimes they bring up Allah, they remind you to pray, they encourage you to stay away from what is haram, they share words that soften your heart? That difference is not small. It is enormous, because the Prophet, peace be upon him, told us that the best of companions are those who, when you see them, you remember Allah, and when they speak, your faith increases. Imagine being blessed with such a person. What a treasure. You might notice this difference most clearly in times of temptation. Perhaps you are in a situation where you are about to slip into sin, and a friend turns to you and says, brother, sister, remember Allah. This is not worth it. Let us walk away. That moment could save you from years of regret. That one word could be the reason Allah protects you from disaster. And on the day of judgment, when deeds are weighed, you might find that the reminder of a sincere friend tilted your scale towards paradise. This is why it is said that real friends are not the ones who only make you laugh, but the ones who care about where you will end up eternally. Sometimes the reminder is not even verbal. It is in their actions. When you see them praying regularly, you feel motivated to do the same. When you see their honesty in business, it makes you feel ashamed of cutting corners. When you see their patience during hardship, it inspires you to be more content with Allah's decree. This silent reminder is just as powerful as words. It shows you that sincerity is not only about telling you what to do, but also about living in a way that uplifts your iman. Allah places such people in your life to guide you without you even realizing how much of an impact they are having on your heart. Now, compare this to the opposite. If someone truly cared for you, would they drag you into sin? Would they laugh when you disobey Allah? Would they encourage you to skip your prayer, to backbite, to watch or do what is haram? No. A person who pushes you towards disobedience does not care about you, no matter how much they claim to love you. They are only concerned with their own desires, and they want company in their wrongdoing. Allah warns us in the Quran about people who will regret their friendships on the day of judgment, saying, woe to me! I wish I had not taken so and so as a close friend. He led me away from the reminder after it had come to me. What a terrifying thought, that someone you laughed with in this world could be the very reason you cry in the hereafter. But again, this is where Allah's mercy comes in. He shows you in this world itself who is sincere and who is not. He lets you feel the discomfort of being around people who constantly make you forget Him. Have you ever noticed that when you are trying to be serious about your faith, certain people in your circle suddenly make you feel drained, guilty, or distracted? That feeling is not random. It is Allah showing you this companionship is not healthy for your soul. On the other hand, when you spend time with someone and you leave feeling lighter, calmer, more motivated to do good, that too is not random. That is Allah guiding you to see this is the one who truly cares for you. Let us take an example. Imagine you are sitting with two different friends on two different days. With the first one, you spend 2 hours gossiping about others, scrolling endlessly through things that bring no benefit, laughing but feeling empty afterward. With the second, you spend 1 hour talking about life, reminding each other to be grateful. Maybe you pray together, maybe you share reflections about patience. When you leave, your heart feels uplifted. Which one of these friends do you think Allah is pointing you towards? Which one is a mercy and which one is a distraction? The answer is obvious. Yet sadly, many of us choose the first group out of habit because it feels entertaining. But entertainment without remembrance of Allah leaves a void, and sooner or later that void becomes a burden. Sometimes the reminder is tough love. A sincere person may call you out when you are wrong. They might say, brother, sister, what you are doing is not pleasing to Allah. And at first you may feel upset, you may feel judged, but deep down you know they are right. That kind of reminder is rare, because most people do not want to risk offending you. They would rather stay silent and let you harm yourself spiritually. But a true friend is brave enough to risk your temporary annoyance for the sake of your eternal happiness. They would rather you be upset with them now than to see you upset on the day of judgment. That is sincerity. Allah shows you who cares by placing in your life those who are not afraid to remind you even when it is uncomfortable. It is important, however, to recognize that reminders must come with wisdom. A sincere person does not humiliate you or make you feel worthless. They remind with gentleness, with compassion, with the intention of helping you grow, not of breaking you down. This is another way Allah shows you sincerity. If someone corrects you in a way that uplifts you, even if it stings a little, that is a sign of care. But if someone mocks you, embarrasses you, or belittles you while claiming to advise, that may not be sincerity, that may be pride or hidden malice. Learn to distinguish between the two. Allah gives you intuition, and He gives you situations where the difference becomes clear. Brothers and sisters, let us also think about the long-term impact of such friendships. The Prophet told us that a person will be with those they love on the day of judgment. That means your companions in this world will have a direct influence on your destination in the next. If you love people who remind you of Allah, who help you obey Him, then by His mercy you will be with them in the hereafter. But if your closest companions are those who constantly pull you away from Him, what will happen when they are led to a different path? This is why it is said, choose your friends wisely, for they are your path to either Jannah or Jahannam. And here is something even more beautiful. When you have a friend who reminds you of Allah, that bond itself becomes an act of worship. It is not just about companionship, it is about building a relationship for the sake of Allah. Such a bond is so precious that on the day of judgment, when even close relatives may abandon each other, Allah says that true friends, those who loved each other for His sake, will remain together, honored and elevated. Imagine the joy of meeting your companion on that day, both of you grateful that you reminded each other of Allah when it mattered most. That is a friendship worth cherishing. So, my beloved brothers and sisters, the next time you find someone encouraging you to pray, reminding you of Allah, helping you stay away from sin, do not take it lightly. Do not brush it off as annoying or restrictive. Recognize it for what it truly is, a sign from Allah that this person cares for you beyond this temporary life. And equally, when someone constantly pushes you to forget Allah, ask yourself, is this really a sign of love? Or is this a path to destruction? Allah exposes the truth through these reminders so that you can choose wisely who to hold close to your heart. And finally, do not just wait for others to remind you, be the reminder yourself. Be the friend who uplifts, who encourages prayer, who speaks words of hope, who gently advises when you see someone slipping. Because the same way you need sincerity in others, others need sincerity in you. Ask Allah to make you a source of remembrance, a source of light, a source of guidance. That way, when he shows others who truly cares, your name will be on that list. Another way Allah reveals who truly cares for you and who is only pretending is in how they respond to your success. Pay attention, because this is one of the most powerful tests of sincerity. When Allah blesses you with something good, whether it is wealth, status, health, opportunities, or even small victories in life, not everyone around you will react the same way. Some will genuinely be happy for you, making dua for your continued blessings, supporting you and even celebrating with you. Others, however, will feel threatened, jealous, or silently hope for your downfall. This difference exposes the heart, and Allah allows you to see it so you know who is real. It is very easy for someone to be with you when you are struggling, when you are on the same level as them, when they feel no sense of competition. But the moment Allah lifts you even a little, the masks start to slip. A true friend, a sincere companion will never see your success as a loss for themselves. They will never see your blessings as a threat to their own. They will remind themselves that Allah is the giver, that His treasures never decrease, and that your success does not take away from theirs. Instead, they will feel joy because they want good for you just as they want good for themselves. This is a sign of sincerity, and when you see this in someone, thank Allah for them. On the other hand, if you notice that when something good happens to you, a person suddenly changes their tone, stops calling, avoids mentioning your success, or begins to criticize you unnecessarily, then Allah is showing you something important. That person may not truly care for you, because sincerity means wishing well for others, even when you are not the one receiving the blessing. Jealousy is a disease of the heart, and Allah uses your success to reveal who is battling this disease and who is free from it. Think about it. Have you ever shared good news with someone only to feel a strange silence on the other end? Maybe you expected excitement, but instead you sensed hesitation or even bitterness. That feeling you get is not random. It is Allah exposing to you the reality of hearts. Not everyone can handle your blessings, and that is okay. Allah is showing you who you can trust with your joy and who you cannot. Because someone who cannot be happy for you when you succeed may not be someone who truly deserves closeness to your heart. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught us that true faith includes loving for your brother what you love for yourself. This is not just a phrase, it is a test of sincerity. Ask yourself, how many people do you know who truly live this teaching? Very few. But when you find someone who genuinely smiles at your success, who prays for your continued growth, who says, may Allah bless you with more, that is someone who loves you sincerely. That is someone Allah wants you to keep close. Let me give you a simple example from everyday life. Imagine two students preparing for an exam. Both of them study hard. Both of them put in effort. When the results come, one scores higher. A pretender may secretly feel bitter, jealous, even wish that the other had failed. They may smile on the outside, but inside they are restless. A sincere friend, however, will say, Alhamdulillah, I am so happy for you. May Allah increase you, and may He also grant me success. That difference is everything. Allah uses situations like this to expose what lies hidden in hearts. The same applies in families. Sometimes siblings compete with one another for attention, wealth, or achievements. It can become toxic when jealousy overtakes love. But a sincere brother or sister will support you even if you achieve something they have not. They will not pull you down. They will not belittle your success. Instead, they will say, this is Allah's gift to you and I am happy for you. That is sincerity. Sadly, many families fail this test. But when you do find a family member who is genuinely supportive, that is a blessing from Allah. Now consider friendships in adulthood. Perhaps you start a business and it grows. Suddenly, some of your friends distance themselves. Others begin to spread rumors. Some even try to compete with you or copy you out of envy. But the one who is real will not feel threatened. They will support you, promote you, and even advise you sincerely without jealousy. They know that Allah is the provider and your success does not diminish theirs. That kind of friend is priceless, and Allah reveals them to you through these very circumstances. Sometimes the jealousy is subtle. A person may act supportive on the surface but will drop small comments that reveal their discomfort. They might say, you were just lucky, or let's see how long this lasts. Pay attention to these small signs, because Allah allows them to slip out so that you can recognize the difference between genuine support and hidden envy. Do not be naive. If someone consistently minimizes your success or avoids acknowledging it, that is Allah showing you their true state. But here is the most important part. Allah does not expose these differences just so you can label others. He does it so you can learn to value sincerity, to protect your heart, and also to reflect on yourself. Ask yourself, how do I respond when others succeed? Am I genuinely happy for them, or do I feel envy? Because the same way Allah exposes others to you, He will expose you to yourself. If you find jealousy in your heart, seek to cleanse it. Make dua for the person you envy. Remind yourself that Allah's treasures never decrease, and that if He gave them something, He can give you too in His own time. This is part of sincerity, wanting good for others, even if you do not yet have it yourself. Brothers and sisters, there is another beautiful angle here. Sometimes Allah will delay your success just to test those around you. He wants to show you who supports you even when you are behind, who encourages you even when you are struggling, who believes in you before the results come. Then when He blesses you with success, He allows you to see how they react. The ones who remain consistent in their love, both before and after your blessings, are the ones who truly care. The ones who change with your circumstances are the ones you need to be cautious about. This is divine wisdom, because Allah does not want you to invest your heart in relationships that are conditional. He wants you to value those who are with you unconditionally. And remember, sincerity is not about never feeling jealousy. Human beings may naturally feel a twinge of envy, but the difference lies in what they do with that feeling. A sincere friend will fight their jealousy, make dua for you and support you despite their inner struggle. A pretender will nurture that jealousy, act upon it, and let it poison their behavior. That is what Allah exposes. He shows you the difference between a heart that is striving for sincerity and a heart that is consumed by envy. We must also talk about how this plays out in spiritual matters. Sometimes Allah blesses someone with increased iman, with the sweetness of prayer, with the ability to do more good deeds. A sincere friend will celebrate this with you, encourage you to keep going, maybe even join you in worship. But a pretender might mock you, discourage you, or make you feel guilty for trying to be better. They might say, you've changed too much, or don't become too religious. These words are not from love, they are from discomfort. Allah is showing you who wants you closer to Him and who feels threatened by your spiritual growth. So, my beloved brothers and sisters, understand this. One of the clearest ways Allah reveals sincerity is through people's reactions to your blessings. If they pray for you, if they support you, if they are genuinely happy without comparison, that is a sign of true care. If they compete unnecessarily, criticize unfairly, or grow distant, Allah is protecting you by exposing them. Do not be hurt. Do not feel abandoned. Instead, see it as Allah filtering your relationships, removing from your circle those who do not wish you well, and leaving you with those who truly matter. And finally, make it a point to be that sincere person yourself. Celebrate others' successes as if they were your own. Make dua for people when they are blessed. Do not let envy creep into your heart, because sincerity is a mirror. If you are sincere with others, Allah will send sincere people into your life. If you are jealous of others, Allah may place jealous people around you. Allah may place jealous people around you. Purify your heart and Allah will purify your circle. So the next time something good happens to you, observe carefully. Notice who claps the loudest, who prays for you, who remains by your side with love. And notice who withdraws, who criticizes, who suddenly grows silent. This is not a coincidence. This is Allah showing you who is real and who is pretending. Thank Him for the lesson, treasure the sincere, and let go of the rest. One of the most overlooked but powerful ways Allah reveals who truly cares for you is through how they treat you when you disagree. It is very easy to get along with someone when you always see eye to eye, when your opinions match, when your choices align, but life is not like that. No matter how close you are to someone, there will come a time when you differ on decisions, on priorities, on opinions, perhaps even on beliefs or values. And that moment of difference is when sincerity is tested. A true companion, someone who really values you, will still treat you with respect even when they do not agree with you. They will not insult you. They will not humiliate you. They will not spread rumors about you just because your opinion is different from theirs. They may debate, they may advise, they may even try to convince you, but always with love, with dignity, with kindness. That is sincerity. Allah allows these moments of disagreement in your life so that you can see clearly who holds your relationship with respect and who only stays close when you conform to their views. Think about it. In today's world, many friendships and relationships break over the smallest differences. People block each other, cut off ties, and turn bitter because of a single disagreement. Sometimes even in families, siblings stop speaking for years because of one argument over inheritance or property. Yet when you look at those who are truly sincere, you notice that disagreement never makes them forget the value of your bond. They can say, I don't agree with you on this matter, but I still love you, I still respect you, and I still want the best for you. That is a sign from Allah of a pure heart. Let us take an example. Imagine two friends, very close, who always go out together, laugh together, and support one another. One day, they differ in opinion about a decision, maybe a business deal, maybe a personal matter. One friend gets upset and suddenly starts speaking badly about the other behind their back. They expose secrets, they twist stories, they try to destroy reputations. Is this sincerity? No. This is Allah showing you this bond was built on convenience, not on true care. But the other kind of friend might strongly disagree, might even feel hurt, but they will never disrespect you. They will never take your mistakes and weaponize them against you. They understand that disagreement is part of life. That is sincerity. And when Allah shows you such people, hold them close. We see this even in the lives of the companions of the Prophet. They did not always agree on everything. Sometimes they had different opinions on issues, yet they never allowed their differences to erase their respect and love for one another. This shows us that sincerity is not about uniformity, it is about respecting the bond despite differences. Brothers and sisters, notice how people react when you say no to them. That is often where sincerity is revealed. As long as you keep saying yes, as long as you are always available, as long as you agree, they may appear kind and loyal. But the moment you refuse, the moment you decline, the moment you make a choice they don't like, then their true character shows. Some will become distant, some will become rude, some will turn against you, and others will remain calm, understanding, even if they are disappointed. Allah uses these small disagreements to expose what is hidden. You may have experienced this in simple situations. Perhaps a friend invited you to a gathering, but you genuinely could not attend. If they get angry, guilt trip you, or speak badly about you for declining, then you must question their sincerity. But if they say, no problem, I understand, inshallah we will meet another time, that is love, that is respect. Allah shows you the difference through such everyday tests. This is also important in marriage. A sincere spouse will not always agree with you, but they will disagree with kindness. They will not belittle you. They will not disrespect you. They will not make you feel worthless just because you hold a different view. Disagreement handled with dignity actually strengthens a relationship. But when disagreement turns into disrespect, into shouting, into insults, that is a sign of weakness in sincerity. Allah allows couples to go through these tests so that they learn to build patience, mutual respect and mercy. Another way Allah exposes sincerity is through how people handle your mistakes. Disagreement often arises because of a mistake. You said something wrong, you took a wrong step. A pretender will use that mistake to attack you, to embarrass you, to remind you again and again of how wrong you were. But a sincere person will correct you privately, advise you with gentleness, and never weaponize your weakness against you. That difference is crucial. Allah shows you, here is someone who truly wants good for you, and here is someone who was waiting for an opportunity to bring you down. Brothers and sisters, we must also reflect on how we handle disagreements ourselves. Because it is easy to point fingers at others, but sincerity is a two-way street. When you differ with someone, do you still respect them, or do you let your ego destroy the relationship? Do you correct with love, or do you attack with harshness? If you want Allah to place sincere people in your life, you must also strive to be sincere in your dealings with others. Be the one who says, I disagree, but I still love you for the sake of Allah. That statement alone can save relationships, families, and even communities. It is said that one of the biggest tricks of shaitan is to take small disagreements and turn them into divisions. He whispers to people, if they don't agree with you, cut them off. If they don't side with you, humiliate them. And sadly, many people fall for this trap. But Allah shows you sincerity when you see someone who does not allow shaitan to use disagreement as a weapon. They hold on to bonds of mercy. They protect your dignity even when you are not aligned with them. This is rare, and when you see it, recognize it as a gift from Allah. Let us think about community life. In every community, people differ over management, over decisions, over approaches. Sometimes arguments get heated. But watch closely, who still makes salam to you afterwards? Who still greets you with a smile? Who still respects you even if you oppose them? That is sincerity. On the other hand, who avoids you? Who spreads gossip? Who suddenly turns cold? That is Allah showing you who is pretending. We must learn, my brothers and sisters, that true love, true sincerity, true friendship is not about never disagreeing. It is about how you handle disagreement. Respect in the face of difference is one of the purest signs of sincerity, because it proves that the relationship is not conditional upon you always pleasing them. It proves that their love for you is higher than their ego. So, if you find in your life someone who disagrees respectfully, who debates without disrespect, who corrects you with kindness, who still values you even when you think differently, treasure them. They are rare. They are gifts from Allah. And if Allah shows you the opposite people who become enemies the moment you differ, then be grateful for the clarity. He is saving you from investing in bonds that are built on ego, not on love. And finally, strive to embody this quality yourself. Learn to respect others even when you disagree. Do not let ego destroy the goodness between you. Protect dignity, preserve relationships, and correct with love. In this way, you not only recognize sincerity, but also become a source of sincerity in the lives of others. When Allah allows disagreement to enter your life, remember, it is not a curse, it is a test. It is an opportunity to see who values you beyond agreement, who treasures you beyond ego, who respects you beyond differences. And it is also a chance for you to prove to Allah that you too can be sincere, that you too can love for His sake, that you too can rise above the whispers of shaitan. So pay attention, my beloved brothers and sisters. When disagreement comes, do not fear it. Watch carefully, because through it, Allah is revealing to you who is real and who is pretending. Perhaps one of the most powerful ways Allah shows you who truly cares for you is through sacrifice. Look closely at the people in your life and ask yourself, who is willing to give without expecting anything in return? who helps you not because it benefits them, not because they want recognition, but simply because they care for you sincerely for the sake of Allah. That is one of the rarest qualities in relationships today, and Allah uses it to reveal to you who is genuine and who is pretending. You see, it is very easy for people to be kind when there is something in it for them. They may help you because they know one day you will return the favor. They may support you because they want to look good in front of others. They may stand by you because of what they gain through your companionship, whether it is wealth, status, entertainment, or even convenience. But the one who truly cares is the one who gives when you have nothing to give back, who stands with you when there is no spotlight, who helps you quietly without announcing it to the world. That is sincerity, and Allah shows you these people through their selfless sacrifices. Think about the sacrifices people make in your life. A mother wakes up at night losing her sleep to care for her child. She is not paid, she is not applauded, she is not expecting anything worldly in return. She sacrifices out of pure love. A father works tirelessly, sometimes in conditions that are difficult, sacrificing his comfort for his family. He may never be thanked enough, but he continues. These are examples Allah gives us of sincerity through sacrifice. And in your friendships, in your relationships, Allah will show you on a smaller scale who has that same spirit, who is willing to put you before themselves even when it costs them something. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught us that the one who loves for Allah, hates for Allah, and gives for Allah has perfected their faith. Giving for Allah means you are not keeping a mental record of what you will receive back. It means you help because you want goodness for someone, because you want Allah's pleasure, not because you want them to serve you in return. When you see this quality in someone, it is a sign of true sincerity. Sometimes the sacrifice is not material, it is time. A sincere friend may sacrifice hours of their day just to listen to you, to comfort you, to sit with you when you are hurting. They may have other things to do, but they put them aside to be present for you. That is sacrifice. Others may sacrifice opportunities. Maybe they pass on an opportunity to you, even though they could have taken it themselves, because they believe it will benefit you more. That too is sincerity. Compare this to the pretender. A pretender is only around when there is something in it for them. They may show up at your celebrations, they may enjoy the good times with you, but when sacrifice is required, they vanish. They will not give up their time, their comfort, or their resources for you. And if they do, it comes with strings attached. They will remind you of it again and again. They will make you feel indebted. They will use it against you later. That is not sincerity. That is self-interest disguised as kindness. Allah exposes this difference so that you do not mistake one for the other. Sometimes the test comes when you are in need of financial help. Perhaps you are short on rent, or struggling with bills, or in debt. Many people will sympathize, but very few will actually sacrifice their wealth to help you. If someone gives you quietly, without humiliating you, without reminding you later, without even expecting repayment if you cannot manage, that is sincerity. But if someone only lends you while making you feel small, or spreads the news of your struggles to others, Allah is showing you this is not sincerity. Sacrifice also shows itself in small everyday ways. Who checks on you when you are unwell? Who drives across town to visit you even though it is inconvenient? Who remembers you in their dua when you are not around? These may seem like small things, but they are acts of sacrifice, giving time, giving effort, giving care. And Allah allows you to notice these things so that you appreciate those who truly value you. There is a saying that you know who your true friends are, not in the good times, but in the hard times. And I would add, you know who is sincere when they are willing to give up something of their own for your well-being. This could be money, time, energy, opportunities, or even just emotional comfort. If someone consistently makes sacrifices for you without asking for anything back, recognize that as a divine sign. Allah is showing you this is a person who truly cares. Brothers and sisters, sometimes sacrifice means standing up for you in your absence. Think of how powerful that is. When others are gossiping, backbiting, or speaking ill of you, most people will stay silent because it is easier. But the one who sacrifices their comfort to defend your honor, even when you are not there, that is sincerity. They risk criticism, they risk being targeted themselves, but they do it out of love for you and out of fear of Allah. That kind of sacrifice is rare, and when Allah blesses you with someone like that, treasure them. Now, let us also reflect inwardly. We often ask, who is willing to sacrifice for me? But we must also ask, am I willing to sacrifice for others? Do I give without expecting anything back? Do I stand by my friends when it is inconvenient? Do I support them when it costs me something? Because sincerity is not only about recognizing it in others, it is also about embodying it ourselves. When you live with sincerity, Allah brings sincere people into your life. You may wonder why Allah sometimes puts you in situations where you are in need, where you have to ask for help, where you cannot manage alone. Part of the wisdom is that through your need, Allah reveals to you who is sincere. He shows you who is willing to sacrifice for you. Without those moments, you might continue thinking everyone around you is genuine. But when you are in need, the truth becomes clear. And although it may hurt to see some people walk away, it is a blessing to know who truly deserves your heart. Remember also that sincerity in sacrifice is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is consistent, small sacrifices that show true love. A friend who always checks if you prayed. A sibling who quietly does chores for you without mentioning it. A colleague who covers for you when you are struggling. These daily sacrifices may go unnoticed, but Allah notices. And He is showing you through them, this person truly cares for you. At the same time, be cautious of those who sacrifice only when it benefits them. There are people who may give to you loudly, publicly, making sure everyone knows. Their sacrifice is not for Allah or for you, but for their own reputation. That is not sincerity. Allah will allow you to feel the difference. You will notice that instead of feeling comforted, you feel burdened, because they keep reminding you of what they did. That heaviness in your heart is Allah's way of showing you this is not real love. So, my beloved brothers and sisters, pay attention to the sacrifices people make. Notice who gives quietly, who supports you consistently, who stands by you even when it costs them something. These are the signs Allah gives you. And equally, reflect on your own actions. Be someone who sacrifices sincerely. Give for Allah, not for recognition. Help without humiliating. Support without expecting. Love without conditions. Because at the end of the day, Allah is the one who sees all sacrifices. Even if no one thanks you, even if no one notices, Allah notices. And He will reward you in ways greater than any human could. That is why sincerity is so powerful. Those who sacrifice sincerely for you are gifts from Allah. And when you sacrifice sincerely for others, you become a gift from Allah in their lives. So the next time you wonder who truly cares for you, do not just listen to words. Look at actions. Look at who is willing to sacrifice. Because through sacrifice, Allah reveals sincerity. But through sacrifice, He shows you who is real and who is pretending. As we reflect on these 5 powerful ways Allah shows us who is real and who is pretending, we begin to see that every relationship in our life is actually part of our test. Through hardship, through reminders of Allah, through how people react to our success, through disagreements, and through sacrifice, Allah is constantly teaching us who truly values us and who does not. Sometimes it hurts when people leave, when masks fall, when pretenders are exposed. But remember, this is not a loss. This is Allah protecting you. This is Allah filtering your circle, removing from your life those who could harm your heart, and keeping for you those rare, sincere souls who will carry you closer to Him. Treasure those who stand with you in hardship. Value those who remind you of Allah. Cherish those who celebrate your success without envy. Respect those who disagree without disrespect. and hold tight to those who sacrifice for you without expecting anything in return. They are among the greatest blessings in your life. And as much as you search for sincerity in others, remember to embody it yourself. Be that person who is present in hardship, who uplifts with reminders, who supports without jealousy, who respects despite differences, and who sacrifices for the sake of Allah alone. Because when you live sincerely, Allah surrounds you with sincere people. So do not be sad when Allah reveals the truth about people. Be grateful. He is guiding you, He is protecting you, and He is drawing you closer to Him. At the end of the day, people may come and go, but Allah will always remain with you. And if you have Him, you have everything you need. May Allah grant us true friends, sincere companions and hearts that love for His sake. And may He protect us from pretenders, from jealousy and from insincerity. Ameen.